Another episode of Trail Talk and Evolve. My name is Matt.
My name is Xavier.
And I'm Jason.
We want to start by prefacing this episode and every episode moving forward that we are not experts in any given field, but we are learning every single day to try to bring you the best value possible.
We want to motivate you to get up and take care of yourself, to better yourself, like we're trying to do every day.
Today it looks beautiful through the camera, but it is one of the chillier days that we've woken up to on this fine Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see behind us, a lot of the leaves have fallen off the trees. Here in Michigan, that happens every year, and then they grow back. It's a pretty cool phenomenon.
It's a funk phenomenon.
We're currently in fall, and we're experiencing some weather shifts, but we're still here. We still showed up for you. We're still here every Sunday morning. By now, I hope we have...
Like a week away from Thanksgiving at this point. So.
Yeah. Let's utilize that segue to talk about one thing that we are grateful for as a gratitude practice. I'll kick us off. I am overwhelmingly grateful to get to do what I love every day. And it's on almost every front. I get to be here every Sunday with these guys and with you, building this awesome show. I get to play my game of business every day, and I get to practice the game of life with my wife and build a family on that front.
I'm thankful for the people around me. My son Matt, his brother Tom, and the people around Naps, keeping me young, make me feel old. At the same time, keeping me young.
I'm grateful also for the people around me, teaching me about the future, teaching me about everything.
And that brings up another good segue. We recently found out that Xavier has a enlarged brain in his head, and was asked to take some AP classes, which, first and foremost, great job. That's something I was never able to accomplish when I was going through school. But we said something yesterday or the day before when I brought that up, and you said, and I think this is very important for people to grasp, you said, say history?
Yeah, U.S. history teacher.
Yeah, explain, remember that part? So my history teacher said something that you guys always say. So basically, what he said was, Xavier, I can see that you're a great test taker, but I can also see that you're not fully applying yourself in these situations. And what you said to me was, you said, it's something that you guys say to me all the time, but sometimes it's just the right person in the right time to say the thing to get it to connect. So the point I wanted to bring up was, I listen to 1 to 2 hours every day of podcasts and audiobooks to help grow my business knowledge, my mindset knowledge, overall growth knowledge. And the crazy thing is, most people say the same thing over and over because they don't want to just say some BS that, just doesn't connect. They're saying these things because they hold truth. But I can hear the same thing over and over, but sometimes it just takes the right person in the right time for me to go, oh, that's why I should be doing that. That's why I should try this. And over the last 8 years that I've been kind of conscious of that thought, I've been trying to do that. So when I hear something now, I don't just go, okay, cool. I go, okay, how can I implement that in my day-to-day? And so many episodes through here have been me hearing the same thing over and over, clicking, and then coming to you and going, okay, this is what I did. Now try for yourself. Try to figure out to make it your own. Like when Alex Hormozi said, you need to have some offer that's so big and so outrageous that it makes the rest of the offer seem not as bad. So I took that and I said, how could I use that for myself? At that point, everyone at NAPS was going, oh, the prices. And we're mad at me for the prices, when in reality, there's only a little bit that comes off on that overall price. So what I did was I took that idea and I put an $80 5-pound burger challenge at the bottom of the menu, because people, from a menu psychology standpoint, people's eyes gravitate to the top and then to the bottom first. And once I implemented that skill and that idea that he had, it ended up working. the main thing I hear now when someone looks at the menu is, oh my God, they have a $80 5-pound burger challenge. So that was proof of concept for me. But I also think that could be translated to anything in any area, in any field, not just the price point thing, but ideas in general. Like the fact that your history teacher said the same thing that we've been saying and everyone around you's been saying, but it clicked harder for you when that unbiased opinion kind of came into play, right? And it's not saying that you already in that few days have just been going crazy on it, but I do think that it's been in your head enough to where you brought it up to me on either Friday or Saturday, and today's Sunday.
I feel like it's more of a, for me at least, you guys were like the only ones who've been telling me that stuff, but the more people that tell me that, the more it clicks for me.
For sure.
That's why I repeat myself with you. I say the same thing over and over and over to you, whether you're listening at that point or not. Hopefully, it's getting in there.
Yeah. I will admit though, sometimes when you do repeat like, yeah, I know, don't drink alcohol, blah blah blah, but deep down I know like, don't do this, and I know that fact.
And I'll keep saying it.
Yeah, I'll still be annoyed.
But at least you'll know. And you know, the more you see as you get older, and if you go to college, if that's your choice, and you see these kids blackout drunk and pass out on the front lawn and going, wow, that doesn't look fun at all, you know. Not saying that there can't be good times to have from it, but you got to have the self-discipline to know that like 1 is okay, 12 is not.
Don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Moderation.
And that's with anything in life.
Anything and everything. And a quick side note, do not blame small business owners for their prices. Inflation affects everybody. They have to pay higher prices, therefore they have to charge higher prices.
And here's the thing too, is a lot of people don't realize is in most situations, you probably make more than the small business owner that you're going to support. People don't realize that the average small business owner takes home about $60,000 to $65,000 a year, which I'm not saying is on average, but most people walk into a business, especially if it's busy, and go, oh, these people are just raking it. Oh my God, they must have this huge house and these fancy cars and this and that. But in reality, it's you're helping pay for that kid's dance lessons, swim lessons, soccer. You're helping this person pay for their mortgage, just like you have a mortgage, right?
Say rent, fucking car notes.
Yeah, and when after everything's said and done, you know, it's very much on the same page. The only difference is they're working a lot more hours to get that amount of money.
Right.
You know, and that's something a lot of people don't see, but you know, it's also not talked about that much because entrepreneurship right now is on this pedestal of, oh, that's the goal, that's where we have to get. Like back in, I mean, like 10, 20 years ago when the wave of chefs went crazy, you know, the Gordon Ramsays and the
Food Network was
insane.
yeah.
And everyone put cooking on this pedestal, but they didn't know what it's actually like executing in a kitchen. And even having someone like Gordon Ramsay sit there and yell on TV, but when the camera turns off, he's actually a super sweet guy. It's just how kitchens were portrayed and how they were for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, he learned from, what's his name?
Marco Pierre White.
Yeah, which apparently he was that type of an asshole.
Hot soup on the face,
Yeah.
the whole nine.
I mean, you have passion in your craft, yes, but you don't have to be a piece of shit about it.
Yeah, and I think it goes to the Steve Jobs-ification of a lot of things, because when he gained his popularity and the iPhone's coming out, people inherently thought that, oh, I just have to be an asshole to be successful, because that's the picture he was painted on. And then you get people like Marco Pierre White, top of his field again, an asshole, and that's how you be successful. But I really think that there are, what do they say, more than one way to skin a cat.
For sure.
And it really depends on the person you want to become and the leader you want to become within that. You can be an asshole and be successful, I believe that. But I also think the other side is true as well. You can put your people first, care about them, and lead with a people first business, compassion, empathy, the whole nine, and still be successful. But it's a choice you have to make.
It's a hard choice too. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna take a long time, but it's gonna be worth it in the end.
Absolutely. You just got to stay consistent. You know, one thing I really live by is the fact that the only way to truly fail is to quit.
Not try at all.
Or not try at all, exactly. Because it would be, and this is, I'm going to semi-quote Alex Hormozi, it would be unreasonable for you to be proficient in something over the course of a few years. But it would be even more unreasonable that after a few decades, you wouldn't be fully proficient within that field. You just have to put the time in to get to where you want to get. And you can't think that, 3 years is a long time to do something. No, decades. The sooner you start thinking in decades versus days, your life becomes a lot more clear, because you can have a better understanding of what you can accomplish in a decade than what you can accomplish in a year.
Put the work in, it'll pay off.
Absolutely. And be patient, as long as you're putting in the
Going.
work.
So it's what, 9:30, almost probably 10 o'clock.
Closer to time, yeah.
On a Sunday, November 12th, and we still have people discing along with us. Not with us, but
Yeah. Which is nice though too. That means we probably have a few more weeks of this and get a little bit colder, but my hands are usually a good indicator of when things start to get really bad, and we have a slight hue of purple, but my hands feel good.
you need some hand warmers put in your pocket.
Yeah, some gloves maybe. Maybe some gloves with some grippy tips or something so I can still, good idea.
Doesn't purple mean like it doesn't have enough blood in it?
Yeah, I have Raynaud. It's poor circulation to the hands and feet. So when it gets cold, like even pressing, like you see how it takes so long for the blood to get back.
Yeah.
That's something that I've always dealt with. And when I was a kid, doctors said that I would grow out of it. But I'm almost 30 now and still here. I will say the last few years or year of me doing the ice baths seems to have helped that. But I keep hearing more people talk about cryo chambers and ice baths, and to protect your extremities, hands, feet, ears, because then you have a higher probability of them getting frostbite and damage. So I'm almost thinking now it might be smart for me to put some really thin gloves and socks on when I do my ice baths.
What we need to start doing is using the sauna at the gym.
Yeah.
I hear a lot about heat treatment as well. We can combine the two, ice baths and then the heat treatment after the workout.
For sure.
It's supposed to help with the recovery.
Yep.
I'm not one to, I don't want to talk shit, but we can throw better than these guys.
But we're out here for fun and domination and fun, and I think if you're not pushing yourself consistently to do better, then you become complacent. And that, for me, does not sound like a fun world to live in.
Speaking of living, so Matt's been talking for a while about living to 120. And we talked briefly about, what's his name, Brian Johnson.
Yep.
He spends $2 million a year to reverse his aging, which he looks okay. I mean, he looks kind of vampiric, but what's his name? I think he's Dr. David Sinclair. Pretty much doing the same thing without spending that much money, as far as I know anyway. I obviously don't know him personally. But he's been on the Rogan podcast. He's been on the Huberman podcast, which Andrew Huberman, fucking love the guy. I love watching his podcast. He always has people on who are way more intelligent than me, and I learn a lot from watching them, which is why I'm bringing up David Sinclair now. This podcast came out, or that particular podcast came out a year ago, and I just watched it last night. And some of the stuff he was talking about was like right along what you originally were trying to achieve, and what I'm trying to achieve now is, I guess, reverse my age, which I don't feel old at all. I physically do not feel old, but if I can extend my life, so I want to see him get older. I want to see his family or whatever he does in the future, 20, 40 years from now. So check him out. Talks about intermittent fasting, which I've been doing. This is our bulking season. I'm not bulking. Apparently, bodybuilders and how they live. I mean, their goal is their goal, but the way David Sinclair was describing it as burning the wick on, or burning a candle on both ends, because putting on the weight, eating, basically causes your body to age faster, eating too much anyway. So he does intermittent fasting. I think he fasts for like either 16 or 20 hours, so only has either 8 or a 4-hour window of eating. Literally drinks olive oil. He has a mixture of, he puts something in, I forget the name of it. Well, I'll look that up and hopefully we'll put it in the notes. But olive oil, this other stuff, and vinegar, and he said it basically tastes like a salad dressing, and he'll shoot that, and that will be his breakfast or whatever, which is interesting. I eat a lot of olive oil because it's good fats, good for you, and I've been doing intermittent fasting now for a couple weeks. I was doing it before, especially when we're cutting, but I just feel better when I intermittent fast. If I go a long period, usually it's 12 to 14 hours for me right now. I might bump it up, but not yet because I like to eat. And I feel great. When I'm hungry though, I'm ravenous. I fucking eat so much. Like yesterday, what I eat, at work I had a couple eggs and whatever, but once I got home, I think I ate like 8 more eggs, a bunch of olive oil, and that's all I had for the day. Probably about almost 3,000 calories.
That's good. And that was within an intermittent fasting window, right?
Yeah, I mean it's relatively small. I went 14 hours yesterday, so I had a good chunk of time to eat. But
And keep in mind too, like that sounds like a long stretch, but the average person sleeps 7-8 hours a day, so like the majority of that time is spent sleeping.
Right.
So it's like a couple hours before you go to bed, a few hours after you wake up, you can get big window gaps.
yeah,
I don't look at it as like this intimidating, oh my God, 14, 16, 20 hours. And 20 is definitely a good stretch, but still, you get what I'm saying, the 14 or 12s, But basically, back in like early days of human, we didn't have access to food at every given second. There weren't grocery stores. Most people would have to go hunt for their food, bring it back, or forage.
nothing was delivered to them.
Nothing was. So our bodies naturally got what we needed to survive. But since we have access and consumerism and all these things, obesity rates is absolutely insane because we have access to all this food when our body doesn't technically need it. We so often convince ourselves that we're hungry, but our bodies can go something like 30 days without food.
And that's the thing with some of the foods. I specifically push against eating over-processed food. That causes you to be hungry,
For sure.
and it's not good calories.
Same with sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar makes you more hungry. And it's more addictive than cocaine.
So, something about like hard foods, like foods you actually have to chew.
Yeah, because like with your jaw, right?
Yeah.
Our jaws are meant to have that motion, but if we're eating mainly soft foods, like a liquid diet,
There have been studies that our jaws have been shrinking, like our mouths have been
Yeah.
shrinking. You can see it in our teeth are meant to be a certain way, and because we don't eat food like we used to, our jaws are, like I eat a lot of, not a lot, but a decent amount of peanut butter jellies, which is a softer food.
yeah, bread soft,
Yeah.
jellied, peanut butter.
And to combat that, I mean, it's not all I eat, obviously. I love steak, I love chicken, foods that you have to chew. So I don't have an issue with that, but there are people who just mainly drink or get their calories from, like my mother, drank a lot of Coke, so she got a lot of calories through that. Whole Foods. I'm going to push Whole Foods till the day I die.
Not the store.
The actual Whole Foods.
So let's give just 2 or 3 examples of what a whole food is for someone that might just think it's a grocery store.
Well, if you want to go the vegetable route, apples, and vegetables.
Fruits.
Fruits and vegetables, like actual fruits and vegetables, not smoothies and stuff like that. You know, enjoy your smoothie if you want, of course, but
But when you do that with the smoothie, keep in mind that all those natural sugars get pulled out of there in a different way, and they metabolize differently within your body as well.
sure, for sure. Just like drinking just juice, you're drinking sugar water basically. You need the fibers from the plant or the fruit itself. I love steak. I eat steak every day if I could. Chicken, yeah, just whole foods,
Not Pop-Tarts,
not Pop-Tarts.
not Hot Pockets or pizza rolls.
As much as I love peanut butter jellies, that's not a whole food.
Peanuts in general aren't necessarily good for you. They're one of the worst nuts to ingest. Like walnuts are really good for you. They're good
Walnuts,
for your eyes and your
Cashews,
skin.
pistachios. You know, pistachios are super expensive, but they're super good for you also. And peanuts is a legume. It's not actually a nut.
Yeah.
It's not.
What you got, boy?
But
What you got? Any input on nutrition and stuff that you have learned maybe in school? You want to talk about what they're doing with physical science? Because that has me concerned.
apparently they're getting rid of physical science. They're getting rid of physical science apparently. Why? Because a lot of people were failing that class, so they just decided to get rid of it. So all next year's freshmen are gonna instead of doing physical science, they're going straight to biology.
So what, for me, that's a little bit far separated from school. What does physical science entail? Is that like experiments and stuff like that?
It's just like an introductory to physics and chemistry, but
You know, physical sciences deal with like study of rocks and shit like that.
we haven't talked about rocks at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, in school at least, it's just like a introductory for physics and chemistry. That's about it.
And then so they're just going to be switching to biology, which is essentially like dissecting frogs and stuff like that,
I mean, we haven't just dissected frogs.
or rats or whatever you
It's
guys
just
do.
about life. Life, that's about it.
Which is good, but
Yeah.
to not study physical science, it makes zero sense to me.
Oh. Well, just
Because it deals with everything that we have to deal with. Everything.
and who writes these books anyways? That's what I want to know. And who is making the decisions to take things out?
That's what I want to know. Who's making those decisions?
And is it the
And
students
why?
not learning it, or is it how they're teaching it? Because everybody learns differently. We could all sit and look at a piece of paper and take different conclusions, or a piece of art and take different conclusions from it on how we think about it. And we just might need the right person to explain it to us each individually. It might be 3 separate people to explain each of us something completely different. Like I'm very much a visual learner, so when they had me like writing and taking tests, like, and trying to learn that way by reading, it just wasn't how my brain connected with things. Versus if I saw it hands-on and you showed me why the egg didn't crack when I dropped it from here and explained it, that makes sense to me. That connects. I can see it, and then I remember it, and then I visualize it later to bring it back. But they didn't take time in school to be like, oh, you know, every kid learns differently. We should probably try to figure out a way to, you know, teach everyone versus just push people through.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, my sophomore, junior year, I don't remember exactly, I was still at Athens, like, they pretty much just pushed me through, doing almost no work, you know?
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But that's what it seems like they're trying to do is just produce some people to work at a factory and not worry about your actual education. It's for the elites, but we are elite.
And
because we
educate
say so.
yourself.
Also, my biology teacher doesn't even know why we're getting rid of physical science.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
She did say like maybe it's because we can do biology and then chemistry or physical or physics, whatever it's called, and then possibly take an AP class later or try different types of science.
Oh, no, we're not. This is way back in junior high. Like I can still remember some of the stuff we did. It was physical science. Some of the experiments that we did in class. Teacher was a dick, but I loved science, so it stuck with me.
I didn't do any experiments.
No.
except for like both roller coaster. But
That's the fun stuff, the experiments.
Mm-hmm.
This is my opinion. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Math and science were always my best classes, and it's not that like I wasn't good in the other ones. So those are the two that just made sense to me. So it was easy for me to just knock them out.
Right.
Geometry was my only math like hiccup, but I just had to pay attention a little bit more, put a little more energy into it to get through.
I had a little less interest in math. So it never really. I mean, basic math, yeah, I can do all day, but beyond that, I was decent with geometry, but like I was into the sciences, of course, and then English class, like writing. I enjoyed writing. That's one of the things. Let me bring that up real quick. I want to support you in whatever the hell you want to do. Whatever you want to do it. I'm going to help you get to wherever you want to go. I, on the other hand, I wanted to be a writer growing up. Younger than him, I knew I wanted to be a writer. But I had somebody in my life who was close, discouraged me from doing that, which altered, obviously, my my life path.
Let me
Which-
add- oh,
go ahead.
Finish.
What you today, or just being one of the great things about being in America is you can do whatever the fuck you want as long as you work for it. You can achieve whatever you want. I don't care what anybody else tells you. The blessing of living in America is you can do whatever you want as long as you work for it. And I don't have the passion I had before for writing, so I don't really want to do that. I have other passions that I'm working on. But despite me being discouraged from pursuing my passion at a young age, I'm pursuing my passion currently, right now. A different passion, but pursuing it.
And that's the thing that I was going to bring up was just the fact that no matter how old you are or where you're at in life or how things may seem, it's never too late to do anything. There are plenty of success stories that happened middle life or towards end of life. And even if you wake up at 60 and you decide you want to do something, you still have a high probability another 20 plus years to do the thing, right? And you just have to go out and get after it. If there's any person that's been in a similar situation to you that has done something, it is proof of concept for you to be able to accomplish the thing. I know, that's why that's why I ripped it off.
Oh.
Should we get some burpees in?
those guys have.
Is this still in view? I think I got it all in view, I'm pretty sure. We can if you want, I'm good for it. I'm gonna go for 5 burpees, 10 push-ups, and 10 sit-ups. Fucking, let's get after it today.
Throw some discs, alright.
All right, so up, down, up, 2, up, 3,
It really is a beautiful day.
that's 4, up, that's 5. Let's go.
I'm just going to do 20 push-ups. In the horse stance. How they do it. This. Thank you. But yeah, my knees are not supposed to go over my toes.
Let's go.
Knees and toes. It's not very easy.
You can give me your non-weighted push-ups. What are you doing? That's not the horse thing.
Horse stance.
I can't do it with a backpack.
Why not?
Wait.
I'm just kidding. I saved you, okay?
I was gonna fall because you pushed me. Wide stance.
Wide stance.
Bend your knees, but your knees can't go over your toes. Wait, now they're going over your toes. So back up a little bit, back up, back
They're
up.
not over my toes.
No, you do it like put your feet together. This, that.
Go to the camera.
And then you go down. Knees not past your toes. You want your. That's hard to do. You can put your arms up for balance. But it's a rough one. I have an exercise for you too for your hips if you're still having hip issues.
Oh yeah, big time.
Avoid smoking. Avoid vaping. Go ahead, boy. It wasn't this much wind a minute ago. Fuck.
I kind of want to try to throw forearm.
They're still over there looking for their disc.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, I just saw one thrown. Cut back, you slink.
She gone.
You gotta figure out a good way to.
She gone.
Yeah, she gonna go on, gone.
Goodbye.
Take your bag.
I'm trying to teach him. He keeps throwing like this. He needs to level his disc out.
Yep, that's good. Right on path, baby. Should be nice. Jesus Christ, he's got little arms.
Okay, should we just right here for him or move on?
Let's power.
You go down to the.
Because he's gonna be up by that tee anyways. Right. He found it. Just cut through right there.
Is your phone, yeah, or his?
Oh, that's mine. Good fucking looks, dude. Oh my god. We were gonna meet you over there, but you're in back. Today's episode is sponsored by Fresh Air. Go and get you some. That's right. That's right. Somewhere right there. I'm gonna let you take this over, set it up behind you. I'm gonna go find mine.
I'm up there. Don't panic at the disco. Try to keep your arm level. Instead of going up, try to keep it level. Yeah, but on the release, because you keep going.
I keep on doing that.
Yeah.
So just try to like keep my arm going like that.
Yeah, or even aim down, just to keep yourself from throwing up.
So when I throw.
Do it in front of the camera. Everyone fails, so it's part of learning.
Yeah.
Find it?
Yeah. Also,
Nice. Make sure you call that person and return it to them.
I'm gonna get right on that. I have visual. That was nice. Fucking playing like a pro today.
Yeah, there's no trees. You just go with the flow.
Oh, is that you and me? X? Is that you? I don't know. What color is it?
It's X's.
Yeah.
Where's your other one? Over there? Your other disc?
It's over there. Oh, the one is right next to Doodoo.
Yeah, there's a big old pile of deer turd over
I
there.
stepped in a rock hard deer turd over there.
Shitting on my disc.
These deers are shitting on my discs.
That's what she said.
Oh, that's okay. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm thinking about getting some weight vests. It'd be better. More balance so we can actually throw while wearing the weight, like Matt is. This weight on the back throws off shit.
What do you think the chances of a geode in here?
Very good.
Good skip. I'm gonna put it right there. Sha la 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 bamba. At least I wear my vest while I do it. Yeah. Swalla la la. That Drake video popped up again last night. So funny is the first, second, and fourth time. I think we should wrap up the episode here. And then, what time is it?
10:30.
Yeah, probably wrap up the episode here.
Word. We talk a lot in this one.
Yeah, which is good.
Good for you, good for us.
So, I think our key points of today's episode, if you want to live a long time, start making healthier choices today to set yourself up for tomorrow. But don't think of forever, just focus on the day at hand, making healthy choices. If that's what you want. A lot of people don't necessarily want to live a long time, or at least they say they don't. And I think a big portion of them saying that is solely for the fact is they haven't quite found their purpose in life yet. But I believe that once you find your purpose, you want to do that thing for as long as possible. And I got really lucky from a young age to know what I wanted to do. But I also understand that not everybody has that.
And eat well. One of the things I get, the people around me I care about, so I want them to eat healthy, I want them to be healthy. And I get a lot of side-eyed and when I try to inform them. I'm not too pushy. At least I don't think I'm being too pushy about it, but I get a lot of from the people I care about, and hopefully you're not doing that. If you're watching us, hopefully that's what you want to do. You want to figure out how to eat better, how to better yourself in all aspects. But yeah,
Thank you for watching Trail Talk and Evolve.
Trail Talk and Evolve.
Love y'all. Share it with a friend. Woo!
New day.
New this, cool this.